Hey guys, this is Sierra coming to you from Holistically Attuned. Thank you for joining this podcast, Becoming Magical 101. I am so super duper excited, and I have a really good show planned out for you guys today. So I decided that the way that I wanted to start my weekly podcast was by doing a card draw so that we can see what type of energy that we need to tap into for the rest of the week. So I thought that that would be an awesome way to start. So I've already meditated and prayed over my cards, and what I'm doing is I am going to draw a card from our Sacred Geometry Activation Oracle, and that will kind of give me some insight on the energy that we're going to be wanting this week. Ooh, throat chakra. Let's see, the frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. Now, let me tell you guys why I think that this is fucking dope, first of all, because the topic of today is intuition versus validation. And so with that, I'm talking a lot about diving into your sacral chakra and really finding your own passion and validity and not having to have others do that for you. And so your sacral chakra is really almost directly connected to your throat chakra because they both represent expression. It's just you build that passion and that creativity in your sacral chakra, and you express it vocally. You express it through your throat chakra, but it's all about creativity. It's about creation. It's about that energy of getting it out. It's building up and it's coming out. I think a lot of us are holding back, and that is really shaking up our foundation. And so this week we really need to start expressing what our passions are. We need to tap into that frequency of desire and know what we want and not be ashamed to tell people what we want. I think that, God, we're always afraid of what people are going to say or what people are going to think when they hear what we want to do, or when we tell them, like, okay, I'm quitting my wonderful job to start this scary expedition. And people are like, what? But that fear hinders us, and we need to not be afraid to vocalize our needs. We need to not be afraid to vocalize our wants. And so that's what this energy really represents, tapping into that throat chakra. And so some ways that you can enhance your throat chakra and strengthen it. Easiest way would be singing. You can sing in the shower, you can sing in the car, practice speaking in the mirror, speaking positive affirmations, speaking life into your dreams, speaking life into your passion, humming, that kind of stuff, anything that gets those vocal cords moving. And chanting is good. Prayer, I would say verbal manifestation, so speaking your wants into the universe, that would be a really good way, and exercise to enhance your throat chakra. What I like to do really is turn on the music and start singing, and I sing for hours. And so yeah, that's our energy for the week, guys. And so I took notes on what I wanted to talk about, and I'll be in and out with it. So this really struck me because I'm currently, if you follow me on Instagram, then you'll know that I am doing this whole, self-love journey. And it's not my first time doing it, but it's definitely hitting a little different right now. I'm being a little bit more mindful in this journey. And so, right now I'm doing a lot of work on my sacral chakra. And so my thing is, when something creative hits me, or when the urge to journal strikes me, I just stop what I'm doing and I'm writing it down. And so I was probably in my feelings about something when I decided to just stop everything that I was doing. I was crafting like 101 different projects at the time. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that. And so it says it's intuition versus validation. And this title, I titled it that because a lot of times we have this inner knowing. We just know, and we don't necessarily understand why we know, but we just have a feeling, we have that gut instinct. But because we can't understand why we know these things, we doubt it, or we look for others to validate our feelings, or validate our path, or validate what our wants are, or validate our desires. And the whole idea is to trust yourself, build that relationship with yourself and your intuition, so that you're not looking for answers from other people. It's that feeling when people don't take you serious, or think that you don't know anything. They take your intelligence for granted, and they do not take into consideration your years of experience in certain areas. They look at you as just a sibling, their child, their spouse, or parent. It's an amazing feeling, because the ones closest to you are the ones that take your energy, advice, outlook, and other things for granted. There's always a rebuttal, but let an outsider suggest the same damn thing or something even worse, and they'll be all on board. It's sad, really, but it brings forth the idea of validation. When we're developing our gifts and coming into who we are always looking for answers from other people, always looking for others to validate our experience or let us know that we're on the right track. We're always looking for others to say, yes, that's good, that's right. But the trip part is, there really is no right or wrong in spirituality. Everyone's experience is different. And so while general guidance can be given, and it would behoove you to educate yourself and learn different styles, techniques, and lessons from others, the main voice that you need to tune into is your inner voice, your intuition. It will never mislead you. It will never have an ulterior motive. It will never make you feel lesser than. Your intuition, your inner voice, will always love and support you. If you do your shadow work, it will provide you tough love and guidance, while simultaneously knowing and understanding when you need a gentle approach or touch. It will never fail you, and it will never misstep your needs. Why is this? It's because your intuition knows you better than anyone else. You are the one that doubts your intuition. Your intuition doesn't doubt you. Your intuition believes in you wholeheartedly and will be your biggest cheerleader. You are your only limit. I know that may seem bizarre for you, but seriously, you're your biggest roadblock. Your largest obstacle to overcome is yourself. And the day that you finally overcome your own demons, you will be more powerful than you can even comprehend. It's amazing, the glass ceilings that we put in place. So that was a journal entry for me. And I think that it hit a lot of different key points that we can dissect. But really, it's the part that I really want to focus on is the beginning of your journey, because that's when we have the most questions. And that's when you'll hear it the most. No matter if you follow a bunch of people on YouTube or you do your own thing, you read a lot of books, the thing that you will hear the most is look within. And that sounds crazy because you think, I don't know anything, but you do. You really do have all the answers. And the further along in your journey you get, the more you'll realize that. And this isn't the ego trip. It's not a know-it-all thing. It's an intuitive knowing. It is tapping into that intuition. It is building a trusting relationship within yourself and knowing who you are, so that you can share that with other people, and so that you can be the best version of yourself. You can't be the best version of yourself if you're always doubting yourself, if you're always afraid. If you let fear guide you, it's always going to hold you back. And I mean, it's that thing where people can see something in you that you have the hardest time seeing in yourself. It's body dysmorphia, it's all these things that we consciously do to ourselves, instead of relinquishing power and just saying, okay, I'm diving into the unknown, and hopefully everything works out for me. But if not, it'll be a learning lesson. We hate to look at things as learning lessons. And it's funny because that's what our journey is, I remember when I first really dove in to my spiritual journey, before I even knew it was a spiritual journey. But I was watching a YouTube video, and this lady said that you're in the beginning phases, or something to the effect of her spiritual journey lasted about 12 years. And it's like, what the fuck? But now I think, well, I don't think it really has an end date. I mean, that may have been the moment where she was going through her dark shadow of the soul, and that was 12 years. And that is absolutely believable, because it takes a very, very long time to do shadow work. Shadow work is never ending, because as soon as you finish one level, it's like, boom, here's some more work to do, you know. And it's a positive thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It's a good thing, but you have to be unafraid to do it. And so in this podcast, we're going to talk about different things that have to do with your journey. We're going to talk about different forms of magic, how to manifest, how to, you know, do some simple candle works, how to work with your ancestors, tarot cards. We're going to talk about all of that, but we're also going to talk about shadow work, and we're going to talk about that kind of important stuff with aligning your chakras and, you know, really tapping into yourself and identifying your journey. So I hope that you guys decide to tune in weekly, and, you know, like, subscribe, share this content with your friends, have them tune in. If you ever have any suggestions, please hit me up, send me a message. I would love to address questions, you know, Q&As in the beginning of the podcast. If you have questions from the last, or if you have suggestions on things that you want to hear, smudging, yoni eggs, herbs, all of that, I'm down for all of it. So let me know. In the meantime, guys, have a great night, and thank you for tuning in.